All right, man. Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Yahweh Kwakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim out here pushing this truth into the four winds. Keep pushing, Akim. I am going to entitle this video Augustus Caesar, the second feather. Augustus Caesar, the second feather. All right. And I'm just basically going to, what I'm saying, his life, what he's known for, and most importantly, his relationship he had with the Israelites. Because that's the only reason that he's written about in the Bible. The only reason these types of guys are written about in the Bible is because the relationships that they had with the Israelites, whether it was rocky or whether it was, decent or whatnot. All right. So let's get it started. Revelation 6 and 6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. All right. Now, when you go back into the origin of the word, into the blue letter penny, you go back into the word denarius. Denarius. All right. And it took 10 asses to equal one of these. This is the silver coin. And the reason that I put this up is because this is the coin that a young Yahweh Shah would have seen when he was alive. All right. This is the bust of Caesar Augustus. All right. When Yahweh Shah was walking the earth as a young man, when he went to the store and he had to buy some bread or whatever, this is the coin, you know what I mean, that he had. Now Tiberius came after Caesar, so in his older years, he probably had some leftover coins with Caesar Augustus on it, but then I'm sure Tiberius, had his busts on a coin. And matter of fact, let's go and I'm about to put up a picture of an ass because they say 10 asses equal a denarius. All right, so let's put up a picture of an ass. All right, see, all right, and this is the I'm about to say the penny, but this was they ass. All right, and basically you can compare it to today's penny, but today's penny is so worthless, it's hard to compare it. But I guess you could compare it to the penny back from the 50s or something. But they was made out of copper and bronze, and the denarius was made out of silver. So that's the difference. It took 10 of these to equal one of those. All right. All right. What I'm about to do right now, I'm gonna bring out second Esdras, and this is the reason that we even talking about this guy. The only reason we do secular history is to tie it into biblical prophecy, man. All right. Second Esdras 11 and 11. No, Second Esdras is 11 and 12. And I looked, and behold, on the right side there arose one feather and reigned over all the earth. All right, that feather that the scriptures is talking about is talking about um this feather right here is talking about Julius Caesar. All right, verse 13. And so it was that when it rained, the end of it came. So the end of his reign came, and the place thereof appeared no more. So the next following stood up and reigned and had a great time. All right, and then who was the next feather? Augustus. All right. So Augustus Caesar was next. And why did he say he had a great time? Because he ruled the longest. He reigned the longest. He reigned for look, man, this is another thing. It's contested amongst historians. Let me just say this. It's tomato. I'm gonna just say he ruled between 40 and 45 years. If you want to be more specific, I want to say it's like 44 years, between 44 and 45. All right. You ask 10 different historians, you're gonna get 7 different answers. All right. So that's what the Bible meant when it said he had a great time. All right. Let's keep reading. And it happened that when it rained, the end of it came also, like as the first, so that it appeared no more. Then came there a voice unto it and said, hear thou that has borne rule over the earth so long. It's all right. It's talking about Augustus. This I say unto thee, before thou beginnest to appear no more. There shall none after thee attain unto thy time, neither unto half thereof. All right. So that's going into him ruling so long. He ruled, let's just say 44 years. Nobody that came after him ruled at least 22 years, according to the first 12 emperors. All right. So that's the Bible identifying him, identifying Augustus. All right. But I'm gonna do some videos on a couple of other Caesars as well. But Augustus is the one that the Spirit put on me to bring out this information about now. All right. So we're about to go into some of his accomplishments and his relation to Israel and the way he treated Yasharala as a whole, as a nation, as a country. All right. Let's get it. All right. Like I said, he was the longest ruling Caesar ever. All right. And he was the adopted son of Julius Caesar, but he was actually the maternal great nephew of Julius Caesar. And Julius Caesar, that name Caesar, Julius Caesar was born with that name. Julius Caesar, that was actually his name. But Augustus Caesar was born Gaius Octavius, and some historians call him Octavian. All right, but the reason that he's called Augustus Caesar was because both of those was given to him as titles. Augustus was a title, and Caesar was also a title. And after Caesar, every Caesar that came after him wore that title, Caesar. All right, and Caesar, one thing that he's I'm gonna name a few things, but one of the things that he's really known for is having a lot of peace during the time of his rule in Rome, man. He had like 200 years of peace, man. All right, and like I said, he came into power behind his biological great uncle Julius Caesar. All right, and he had two political allies, which was Mark Antony and Marcus Lepidus, and they formed something called the Second Triumvirate. All right, and what they did was defeated the assassins of the First Triumvirate. All right, read into that. All right, but they ended up falling out, and Lepidus ended up being exiled, and Antony was defeated by Octavian at the Battle of Actium, like 31 BC. Antony ended up committing suicide, and his girl Cleopatra. All right, and after he came into power, he got in good with the Roman Senate. All right, everybody that did good, all the Caesars that did good and prospered and were praised and had a good reign, they all had good relations with the Senate. All right, and the Senate granted him lifetime tenure as supreme military command, tribune, and censor. Lifetime. All right, so he was a loved man. And let's not forget what Rome is known for, being an empire. Augustus dramatically enlarged the empire, annexing Egypt, Dalmatia, Panoa, Noricum, Raetia, expanding possessions in Africa, and completing the conquest of Hispania. But he suffered major setbacks in Germania. All right, and that's in the Bible as well. Germania, you know that. All right, Germania Major, Germania Minor, what they turned into. All right. He also reformed the system of taxation. He developed roads with mail routes. He established the standing army, the Praetorian Guard, created a police and fire services for the Romans. He rebuilt much of the city. All right, he did a lot for his people. He did a lot for his people, and the whole crux of this whole lesson was his relationship to our people. All right, and we know that Julius Caesar, he had a pretty decent relationship with the Israelites, and Augustus, he took on. Matter of fact, look, The policies of Augustus toward the Jews of the Roman Empire in general and the inhabitants of Judea in particular followed the favorable line established by Julius Caesar. But with respect to Judea, the emperor's personal friendship with Herod probably played the decisive role. Herod probably played. Herod's rule in Judea was um, was um, was set up by Augustus. All right, and the close relationship that existed between the two is probably the reason that that he treated the Israelites so good. He didn't put no holy hell onto the Israelites, but they was under his subjection. They were still slaves under who? Under him. All right. Does that name Herod sound familiar? Remember when Yahweh Shah was born? You remember who was trying to kill Yahweh Shah? He was set up by who? The guy that we are doing this lesson on, Augustus, to show you that everything in the Bible is connected and intertwined. You just don't know it. The Bible, man, that rabbit hole gets deep, man. All right. Look, Herod. Matter of fact, we talked about the Actium Wars. All right. Herod knew Mark Antony. After those wars and Mark Antony was defeated, Herod was summoned by Augustus to Rhodes to explain his relationship with Antony. And he had a soft spot for Herod. He took a liking to him. And then after that, he set up Herod to sit on the throne as a governor, you know what I'm saying, as a puppet over there in Judea, man. All right. And after Herod died, Augustus split Herod's kingship among his sons. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Alexander the Greek, man. These Greeks, these Edomites, whether they fly by the name Roman or Greek or whatever, they all they do things in a similar fashion. Let's just say that. All right. So man, he treated the Israelites pretty decently, man. All right. What about the Israelites that was spread about throughout the world, because he ruled the world, the Roman Empire. All right. So the world had the same laws. All right. You go places they were Hellenized. So what about outside of Rome? Jews throughout the diaspora were favorably treated by Augustus. In one edict, the Knights of Jews in Asia Minor were upheld, including the privilege of sending money to the temple. Augustus also issued decrees in favor of the Jews of Cyrene. He also ensured the inviolability of their sacred books and synagogues and exempted them from the need to give bond to appear in court on the Shabbat or Friday after the ninth hour. The emperor's praise of his grandson Gaius for not worshiping in Jerusalem, well, that's different, all right. But he treated them good, man. Good as a overseer can treat a slave. Let's say that, all right? Because we know it was a lot of Edomites that came down with holy hell on the Israelites, man. He wasn't one of them, but yeah, he came, man. And he's considered one of the greatest. He's considered one of the greatest Caesars of Rome. Him and Julius Caesar. Some people say that Julius Caesar was the first Caesar. Some people say Augustus was the first Caesar. But Augustus definitely was the first one to rule as an empire. And like this is his quote. This picture in the background. I found Rome a city of bricks and left it a city of marble. He did. He flipped Rome. He turned it into what you know today. If Julius Caesar planted the seed, Augustus watered it. All right. With that, I want to give all infinite honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shah by Hashem, Papa Kwakwadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who rule and teach well, and to the other Akim, peace, shalom, and salutations. Kwame Yashala, man. Abba.